What's up, guys? Welcome back. Amazing RC. It's your boy Brian, and this very well may be the sexiest Eachines EAT-01 ever built, and it happens to be mine. If you're new to the channel, bear with me. For the rest of you, this happens to be RC Trailcats, very good friend of mine, Gary, and we did this really cool build together to where he built an Eachines EAT-01, I built an EAT-01, and when we were done, we traded them. He built this one and sent it to me. I'm currently building one right now. When we're finished, we're going to send it to him. But this one right here, this is the one that Gary built for us here at Amazing RC. So we're going to go over the features, everything that he did that I can find, because he really didn't give me a comprehensive list. And I'll tell you right now, there's almost nothing on here that used to be here with the original stock truck. So when I first opened the box, I pulled out this truck. This was wrapped in tissue paper. It was the front cab and the rear, and there's wood in here, and everything's painted. All of the stuff on the side is painted. All of the interior has been hand painted. He's got a driver. So first I pulled that cab out, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is amazing. I can't believe it. Oh, the workmanship and all of that. And then I set it to the side, and I said, okay, maybe we just have to assemble it, no big deal. So I get into the box a little further, and then I pulled out this truck. So it turns out Gary had painted this truck, but when he had sanded it, or the lack of sanding it, one of the two, something had happened in between the paint and the truck to where you don't have to really be all that rough to knock the paint off, and Gary wasn't having that. So Gary completely scrapped this build, and then he built this. Now, this bed is a completely custom all wood bed. Gary built this by hand, and this is almost exactly what I was expecting from Gary. I knew that he was a woodworker, so I mean, I knew this was coming. And there's so much craftsmanship, and not just wood. His aluminum work is really good too. Let's just basically start on the outside and then work our way in, because I'll tell you right now, there's a surprise inside here that if you have not been watching Gary's videos, it will be a surprise. So the front bumper already, Gary made a completely custom front bumper out of aluminum and wood. He's got lights in the front, 2 white, and then he did custom 2 yellow as well. Now these didn't come with this body. He actually custom mounted these lights and ran the wires on the inside. Believe it or not, when I got the truck, I actually just fixed it about 10 minutes ago. One of the headlights was out, and it was one of the wires was just loose from the LED, so I soldered it back on real quick, and we're good to go. Now, one of the really cool things about the lights, and Gary and I, we talk about this very thing all the time, because we're diehards to be able to manipulate things on the vehicle. I think Gary's done semi trucks before, so he's all about this right here. But he threw a 3rd channel on-off switch for the headlights, so I can actually hold down the button on the transmitter here and turn them off. Then I can hold the top button on the transmitter and turn them back on. And I absolutely love that. Gary knows I love that. See, here's the cool thing, though. We're going to skip to the back of the truck, because one of the things that I wasn't expecting, because my on-off switch, if you cycle through the buttons, it'll turn lights on, turn lights off, and then there's a mode on there that will make the lights flash all crazy, and this didn't have it. But what this does have is reverse lights, so I can actually, pull backwards and it will turn the reverse lights on, and I love that. So Gary, I don't know what on-off switch you used, but you got to tell me, because I want one. I think that's really cool. So as you can see, he's got a Lexan body in the front. He completely scrapped the cab. Now, if you remember, we are going to paint our cab, so hopefully we'll have better luck than Gary did, because I do not have a Lexan body to go on the front of the truck, and nowhere near is this in my design. So he had a pretty cool contingency plan when this didn't work out. He went with this really cool Lexan body. He actually did paint this body. He's got two body posts on the side, which are completely custom and have their own custom aluminum brackets. But as you can see in here, Gary's got everything wired up, and he actually painted the cab as well. He's got everything, and good crisp lines. He just super classic design, but it looks flawless. One of the things in the back of the truck that you do notice is this really great toolbox, and it's not just a toolbox, it's actually functional, and not to hold tools, but to hold my battery. So Gary's actually chopped a hole through this thing. It's a 2S battery. He said it can take a 3S battery as well, but I've got a 2S battery in there right now. But I love it. Just so well done. Everything on this truck is super well done. Now, let's discuss the elephant in the room. You know, I know there's going to be a few of you out there, and they're going to be like, oh my god, he did all this really cool, this chain work, the wood and all that, and it's got stock wheels on it. What's going on? Well, they're not technically stock wheels. Now, I can grab one of the stock wheels and grab the scale and throw it on there. And if one of you guys try me, I'm going to do it. These wheels are not stock. They have been upgraded. What Gary did, and I know for a fact that this is a thing because I had to assemble some of this truck when I got it. Gary was smart, took the wheels off, made sure nothing got broke on the way here. So I do know that not only are the wheels weighted, they are also foamed, and the front two wheels weigh considerably more than the rear four wheels. Not only that, the whole entire truck is extremely heavy. So that was just blow my mind. As soon as I pulled this out, I could not believe how heavy this truck was. And that's the opposite direction that we're going with our truck. Now, don't get me wrong, our truck, super diesel. However, not anywhere near as heavy as this. We're building a street truck. This, he has promised me, is not only waterproof, but also extremely capable. And tomorrow we're going to find out, because that's when we're going to take this truck to work and we're going to get it out on the rocks. Inside, Gary went absolutely bananas. He's got a 1/10 scale ESC and motor. The motor's an 80-turn RC four-wheel drive crawler motor. He's got big chunky 1/10 scale gears on that and attached to a 1/10 scale transmission. I'm assuming, like I said, he didn't give me a list. I'm assuming it's like some axial something or another. This is what you would find in my Komodo. I mean, like, I want to buy this exact stuff and put it in my Komodo. Gary's got it running this small 6-wheel drive truck. This speaks for itself. He's got a Spectrum receiver in here, and as you can see, he's got a 3-channel Spectrum transmitter, and this is with the 3rd channel as an auxiliary with the on-off switch. So he's got a super sick setup in here. One of the really blow your mind things on this before we go underneath the truck and finish this out. One of the things that blew my mind is that it makes zero sound. It makes no sound. I mean, none at all. That 80-turn motor is basically silent when it comes down to these little motors and these little trucks. I promise you, mine is quiet. It's quiet. It's very nice. It's not that quiet, but it's quiet. This is ninja quiet. I can sneak up on one of my cats with this thing. I may sneak up on one of my cats with this thing. The on-off button is inside this thing right here. And again, mind absolutely blown. Gary has done so much work to this truck. Now, before we go, underneath the truck deserves some attention here real quick. These are upgraded axles. They're plastic housings. However, on the inside, they are all metal gears. And that's necessary because of the torque that this 540 motor is actually going to pull. I mean, this thing should be able to walk up a concrete wall at 90 degrees. Now, all of the drive shafts are metal. Everything. It's all upgraded metal. The steering servo in this is also upgraded. The stock steering linkage is completely taken out, and he has a custom steering linkage in here. Also, the suspension is all aftermarket suspension. These are all aftermarket leaf springs. These actually swivel. Everything underneath that you see here has been upgraded, including, like I said, the leaf springs and the buckles. Guys, I mean, this thing, it's not what it was when we started. I'm absolutely blown away. I know I said it before, Gary. This was one of the best ideas I've ever been presented with. I'm so glad that I'm involved with it. I can't wait to finish the truck that we're building, because it's going to be this one's equal. I'm very, very excited. I also have a ton of other footage coming up, and I got a ton of other products that you guys have to see, like this metal roof rack. It was $13. It was $16 shipped. But metal roof rack with light housings and little with the LEDs. I mean, for 16 bucks shipped, you can't. I don't know where else you can get that. We also took the Komodo out with a good friend of mine, Christina. She has an axial wraith, and we kind of had a Komodo versus axial wraith thing up at work, so be on the lookout for that video as well. Guys, I've held your attention way too long. Thank you so much for coming by. Gary, this is amazing. We'll get you that run footage very, very soon. Until next video, guys, it's Brian, and this is Amazing RC.